Hello and welcome to Some Dude Shed. It's Newsday,
Abong.
and in the news this week,
Joe Lycett, PS&I received complaint after joke at Belfast show.
Giant step for Hamkind. Hamster survives daring trip into the stratosphere on a flying balloon.
Monkey in tactical vest found dead after Mexican cartel shootout, and that's the news this week. So, who wants to get started?
I'll go first.
All
It's
right,
a bit of a travesty of a story, to be honest. Joe Lycett, PS&I received complaint after a joke at Belfast show. Police complaint about a joke made by the comedian Joe Lycett was made in Belfast. It has emerged. The stand-up wrote in an Instagram post that a complaint was filed about a segment from one of his shows that referenced a donkey, but did not identify where it was made. The Police Service of Northern Ireland has confirmed it received the complaint after a show in Belfast on the 8th of June. The set performed at Belfast Waterfront Hall on the 8th and 10th of June. The PS&I statement, first reported by a journalist, Amanda Ferguson, added that the inquiries were made and no offence was found. Lycett wrote in the original Instagram post, "To be fair to them, the fuzz were very nice about it all, but felt they had a duty to investigate." And that's it.
well, I suppose probably the most important question is, what was the joke?
Apparently it was about a donkey.
Right. Okay. So
The police reporter was he says he took great pleasure in writing about giant donkey dick. So it's something to do with that.
Well,
Apparently that was offensive to someone.
goodness me. Well, there must have been some donkey in the audience who was very offended. Can't imagine who. What kind of people would phone the police over a joke?
I don't know. Sounds like a right ass. I don't know. You hear about this from time to time, but I think it's the first time I can think it's happened here.
I think so. Yeah, it's the only time it's made the news anyway. I wonder if he's got a sort of not really criminal record. I wonder if he's got like a non-crime hate incident against his name.
Oh yes, where it's not a criminal record, but we're keeping tabs on the hateful things you say.
Absolutely.
I think I don't know if he said this himself or if the police maybe said this. I don't think it would have been the police or maybe just someone, but I think I read somewhere that the police pretty much did it just as like a formality, but they didn't really have any intention on placing charges on him. Like I think the police thought it was just as ridiculous as Joe did.
Well, I'm not overly familiar with Joe Lycett's stuff. I mean, I've only really seen him in Taskmaster and a few other quiz shows here and there. He wasn't exactly like Frankie Boyle's old stuff. He wasn't that extreme.
Did he have a program called Joe Lycett's Got Your Back, where he kind of like, I think he kind of went after like scam artists and stuff, like tried to con them back. I can't remember that. I have no idea. I didn't fucking watch it, but yeah, that's all I've seen of him.
Well, he's in 8 out of 10 Cats and QAI as well.
Oh, yeah, he's got his own show. Joe Lycett's Got Your Back.
Are those on TV? Yeah.
Yep, that's him.
I don't watch TV. People still watch TV, do they?
Oh, there's some people who do.
Some people go to comedy shows and then complain about the jokes. It's a crazy world we live in.
There could have been a troll as well. Maybe. I hope it is.
From what I've seen of him being a troll isn't entirely unbelievable. The guy does have a pretty good sense of humor. But moving on, I suppose.
Yeah, our hamster hero. So, do you remember the story of our true or false that I pitched to you? Is, the story of Chunky, the space hamster?
Who could forget?
Well, someone did that, but with a balloon and with better equipment.
Was it a Florida man?
No, it was a Japanese, I'm assuming. Well, let's get into it. So, space hamster reached a maximum altitude of 14 miles and is in good health after being safely recovered from the sea. Hamster has successfully returned to Earth after being launched into the stratosphere on a flying balloon, so not so much a rocket, so it's already safer. Japan. Took off in Japan.
Right.
That's right. Took off in Japan's Miyako Island. According to Iwatani Geiken, the company behind the daring experiment, the hamster was placed in an airtight cabin, 60 centimeters high and 50 centimeters in diameter, at the same atmospheric pressure and temperature as the ground. A photograph showed the rodent looking wistfully out the window while 7 miles above the Earth. The balloon was launched from, I'm going to butcher this name, Miyako-jima, a city in Okinawa Prefecture, and climbed at an average. Sorry?
I've never heard of that city. I wonder if it's like the Japanese Lisbon.
Miyako-jima, it probably could be. I mean, there's Iwo Jima, so I mean, this is probably the other Jima. It climbed to average 6.3 meters a second. There was a camera installed inside the cabin, to show the animal snoozing comfortably during the gradual ascent. I bet you they gave it something so it didn't freak out.
Are you saying they drugged the hamster?
I'm not saying they drugged it. I'm just,
Are you saying that he was high in two different ways?
Well, could be. I mean, it was for science. They'd probably give it like a sedative to make sure it wouldn't, freak out. Or Iwatani Geigen is hoping to bring manned space travel to the masses, and the experiment was designed to give would-be consumers confidence.
There's nothing that would give me more confidence than that. Like, oh, quick, have a go in this rocket. We know it's safe. We put a hamster in it the other day.
Well, it's a balloon, so if they could stick me in a balloon and send me up and recover me from the ocean, I'd go for that. It's about as good as you're gonna get.
Reminds me of that Red Bull stunt, Red Bull Stratos. They sent the balloon up into space, and then the guy jumped out of it like a crazy person.
Did David Blaine not do that? No,
He did it without the balloon.
he just floated.
He just floated.
No, David Blaine did something a couple of years ago. Did he not? I think he just held onto a balloon with purely just his own grip strength, and then he just let go, fell, and did a parachute. And I don't think he went into the stratosphere. He probably just froze to death. But
it sounds like the kind of thing he'd do.
Yep, I'm going to enter the vacuum of space without a suit. There you go, hamster.
Right, so moving on. So we'll hear about this poor monkey who was wearing a tactical vest. Sadly, it didn't save him.
Yes, it was in a shootout. What kind of gun did the monkey have?
It's not clear if the monkey was armed. I think it might have just been crossfire. They got him. So the monkey is referred to as El Chango in Spanish. It basically means the primate. He's also known as the Sicario monkey. He's a pet of the member of La Familia Michoacana or something, and so a notorious cartel in Mexico. And it's apparent the owner was killed on the 14th of June during a standoff between state forces and their group, I suppose.
Did it tell you where this happened? Was it on a road or at the compound? Or very interesting.
I'm trying to find it here.
Because
the jungle.
It could have been, easily killed in a crossfire if it was like in a series of cars and.
Well, like in the film Sicario.
Yeah, something like that.
The monkey's just going bananas. There's a big gunfight happening.
It's not clear, but I imagine it's a pet, so I can't imagine it was very far from home. Probably at the compound. After last week's shooting rampage, which left 11 dead, 3 injured, and 7 arrested by the police, photos of the bloody scene began circulating online. There were images of bodies peppered by bullets and scores of military-grade weapons seized by authorities, and nothing new. Yet one body provoked a social media frenzy. The monkey, clad in a tiny vest, lying on top of a dead man. It was all very sad. Apparently, it looked like the monkey was being hugged at the time.
Okay.
That's a very sad story, Mr. Gray.
Yes, it is. For some, it was the contrast of a cute monkey decked in narco attire. For others, it was the outrage that an endangered species was being kept as a pet. But mostly, it was the sense that an innocent being had been killed in crossfire. It prompted a myriad of tributes.
Well, how do we not know the monkey was the real brains behind the operation?
Monkey's in danger.
Or was just playing the role of the pen?
I suppose we'll find out in a few months. Maybe the drug trade in Mexico will fizzle out because this monkey, because El Chango's dead. But yeah, he's prompted a few tributes from newspaper front pages, and there's even a song about him.
Hey, with the monkeys.
And the monkey and the song's pretty cheesy. It's such a short life, and it wasn't the monkey's turn to die. Someone stole his story because he came here to triumph and shine in so many things. Now, it doesn't sound like song lyrics because, of course, this would be in Spanish. So,
yeah,
great thing about writing songs in Spanish, everything rhymes. So,
it's always like that, though, isn't it? Like, sure, you look at a photo of a guy who's been murdered or something. They're like, oh, he was a nice, brilliant man. Never hurt anyone. An asset to the community. And then you look at a picture of him. He's got fucking evil tattoos on his face, and he just one tooth in his head and one eye, or just clearly not an asset to the community or a good boy. So for all you know, the monkey was the head of the operation.
It could be. I mean, you make a very good point, actually. I mean, whenever there's a tribute or stuff in the news, they don't exactly go to the person that they accidentally crashed into on the road the other day.
Yeah, they don't go, well, he was a bit of a knob.
Do you want to? They just go up to the random guy on the street and just say, "Oh, Kevin, something's dead. Do you want to give your tribute?" Is to say, "Yeah, he crashed into me the other day and didn't share his insurance details. He just drove off." He's a bit of a knob, really.
Yes. It's always like, oh, he was a lovely boy. It's never like, ah, he's a dick. Nobody liked him.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh,
Wouldn't make much of a news story, that would it? So
I'm just picturing the
basically,
PG
the
Tips
moral of
monkey.
the moral of the story is if you want to be popular, you know, despite being a part of a massive criminal organization, try to look cute, and people will like you.
And on that note,
And on that terrible note, goodbye.
Bye.
goodbye.